Hey guys, so if you've seen my last video, I left off on a sour note, being unable to defeat Elden Beast on New Game Plus with only my Mimic tier. If you haven't seen the last video because the algorithm decided to show you this one instead, here's the general recap. Mimic tier has over triple your health. Mix that with high defenses and percentage based heals, and you have a beefcake Mimic tier that'll basically never die, capable of taking out boss after boss after boss all by itself, even in New Game Plus. And it's worked against at least 13 of them. However, this doesn't work against every boss. Malenia heals herself every time she hits the Mimic. Malekith is a walking blender of damage.
No, don't do it! No, don't do it!
And some bosses like the Fire Giant and Elden Beast just can't stand still long enough to damage or heal off of. I was able to find a solution for Malekith and Malenia, opting for much more damage output with Rivers of Blood, then using Ultra Heal to replace the healing I usually get from Prayerful Strike. But even that wasn't enough for Elden Beast. It's immune to all status effects, which meant Bleed, my highest source of damage, wasn't going to work at all against it. But I haven't lost hope. I got creative with Malenia and Malekith, I can do it again. I mean, I could just heal the Mimic myself and buff it during battle, but where's the fun in that? My Claude doesn't need help, it just needs to get good. I started looking into more things that would improve my build and got searching. But the last video did something to my brain. Every boss fight I get into now, I instinctively summon Mimic tier and let it solo despite there being zero reason for doing so anymore. When my Mimic took out the Valiant Gargoyles by itself, that's when I realized I wasn't playing Elden Ring anymore. I was playing Pokemon. Anyways, after like 4 whole days, this is what I found out since last video. The Freezing Pot causes a whopping 380 Frostbite buildup, which is enough to instantly apply freeze to enemies that are weak to it, which would have been great against Malenia. Just like the Mog's rune. Boiled Prawn also increases your physical defenses by 15%, which is pretty good. Not gonna lie, I already knew about this during my last video, but what happened was I didn't feel like doing the quest line to unlock the shop. So I had this amazing idea to just kill the guy so I could get his bell bearing instead. And see, I'm not sure if you ever tried this on your own game, but it doesn't work. I've been scammed. Now I can't get boiled prawn until next playthrough, so... Raw meat dumplings heal you by a whopping 50% of your health, with the only drawback being that they poison you, which isn't a problem for Mimic tier since all spirits are immune to poison anyway. However, you can only hold up to 3 at a time, and Mimic tier will sometimes just pop all 3 before it even gets anywhere close to half health. But hey, free healing is free healing. Now, these are all great developments, but it turns out absolutely none of them mattered, because even before I put the raw meat dumplings on, I tried experimenting with a build and he died. Like, I wouldn't even say my build was groundbreaking, it just kind of won. But how though? Well, the reason Mimic casts healing spells so rarely is because it's literally the last in priority when it comes to things the AI would rather do at any given moment. So I thought to myself, if I remove the options of basic attacks and weapon arts and just give him offensive spells for damage, would that increase the chances of using a healing spell, therefore making it heal more often? Only one way to find out. So I respec to an Intelligence Faith build, and for offense I gave him Carrion Slicer for close range damage, Azula's Moonblade just in case it gets a Frostbite proc on Radagon, and Rykard's Rancor because it tends to deal more damage against bigger bosses like the Elden Beast. As I was watching the battle go down, I was a bit disappointed in the damage of Rancor, so I was ready to swap it out with Stars of Ruin as soon as the battle ended. Any day now. Oh god, it's at half health. And it's dead. So it's safe to say that experiment was a success. The Mimic was definitely healing itself more often, and that's what made it win. Still nothing crazy. Like, it gets way more off Prayerful Strike, but it was just enough to get the job done. And so, God has fallen. The true Elden Lord has claimed his throne, and his trainer was really proud. What do you do when you've reached the end? When your Mewtwo is already level 100? What's there left to train for? What will I do now? How will I break the game next? If you want to know, I guess you'll have to tune in next time when you subscribe!